Hello, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of Mondays Are For the Nerds. I'm your co-host, Jay Wright.
And I'm your other co-host, Tristan Stump.
We thank you for joining us as you listen to us recap the nerdy news that happened this past week.
Yes, nerdy news. Just a forewarning, same as last week. My house is a mad zone, construction zone, whatever you want to call it. So if there's anything in the background, because I don't know how much I feel like pausing and stopping every 5 seconds this week. We'll bear with us. We'll try to be sound as professional as possible. We are really kind of squeezing this in because it is a holiday weekend.
Did you do anything this week?
Well, I did play Blueprints.
No, yes,
I guess
dude.
I could pull that up.
Yes. No, don't spoil it.
Oh, yeah. Which Jay is also going to play at some point. Because it is, I was correct, it is on the PlayStation Plus subscription for free. Mm-hmm. Free. It's a subscription.
Paying for the subscription. So.
But so I had to play that. I will tell you something that I think you'll appreciate knowing this ahead of time, because before all I had described it was, you have the blueprints of a house, you're solving puzzles, searching for a hidden room. The way the blueprints work is you go up to a door and you click to open the door, and then 3 drafts will appear in front of you, and you have to pick which one of those 3 rooms will be in that pathway, and you just keep going from there. For every room you enter, you lose a step. You have 50 every day, and when you go to sleep and wake up the next day, the room's reset.
Okay.
So it's escape room puzzles, but with like this roguelike deck building. I don't want to say deck builder, but you do kind of collect new blueprints, but you pretty much have all the blueprints unlocked. Some of them are just rarer than others. There are permanent changes to the map, mostly outside, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've played 17 in-game days. That's maybe about 3 to 4 hours of if not longer.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Not horror. I told you it gave me horror vibes, but I could see you getting creeped out.
Just because of who?
Just because you're alone. There's no other NPCs. You're just walking around this house. There's a lot more of an ambient. Music will sometimes kick in and sometimes not. And the gamer in me goes, "Oh crap, music kicked in. That means something's about to happen."
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's just
playing a game.
There's just music.
That'd be so creepy.
They're like you do. I did explore a tomb at one point. Nothing creepy there. There's just statues of angels, and it
gives off like a creepy vibe more than like a horror vibe.
Yeah, no horror, but definitely creepy stuff.
Creepy. Okay.
Definitely like.
I think I can handle that.
As maybe it's because I've been burned by too many games before. Be like, there's something's going to be staring out at the window.
You're always just side eyeing. Wait for that moment.
Yep. But there's also lore that because the game kind of has a basic it has a opening cutscene, and then you're just kind of in, and any other story you get, you find documents around each room that you draft that will.
So you actually have to read this.
Yeah, and for example, some lore you have to look for, like there's a library room that you draft, and you check out a book, and then the next time you draft that room, that book you check out will be there, and it'll have lore in it, and then so different things like that, where every room kind of has its own shtick. I'm enjoying it a lot. If I were to have to rate it now, based on what I've played, because I haven't beat it,
is it a long game?
It depends on your puzzle solving skills, and also there's some things I think are just supposed to take you longer.
And if you just want to take the time.
So I don't know how long the game is, but based on what I've played, I'm gonna give it like an 8. Most people are giving it 9s or 10s or something, I would say.
But
I give it an 8 because there are some things about the randomness of the rooms. So in solving puzzles that are supposed to go over a course of a few days. Sometimes you have to wait longer just because the game decides not to give you that room the next day.
Yeah.
And just some other things where I'm like, this is kind of frustrating. Yeah. But I still had a lot of fun with it. I'm intrigued by it. But I did that. I've also been playing more Breath of Fire. I got to a point where I have to look up a walkthrough, so I just haven't picked it up in a while. That and Blueprints distracted me.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much work.
Oh yeah.
Work and actually getting to play some games is what I've got to do this week.
Nice. I did. Of course, Trey and I went to see Drop Sunday, and it was actually. It's not a horror.
Not a horror?
It's a straight up thriller.
Thriller?
Like
Okay.
mystery. I got back that night. I'm like, Mom, you actually might have would have liked this. The trailers do give horror vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a mystery thriller whodunit. Liked it. It's really good. Watched a lot of Frasier. I finished season 7. So I'm in
Okay.
season 8 right now. I got 4 left. And then I watched some of the studio. I had 2 episodes to get caught up. What I loved about the studio was episode 4. Yeah. Episode 4 was called The Missing Reel. And it was all like a detective show.
Mm-hmm.
Because he starts out talking about like how he loves just like cinema on reels as opposed to digital because it feels so authentic. And then they find Olivia Wilde, I think, is shooting a neo-noir detective film starring Zac Efron, and the reel's missing. It's like the climax. And so he goes to find it, and he gets there, and there's something wrong with his clothes. So like, yeah, just wear something from wardrobe. And so he puts on like this like trench coat and like fedora, and the rest of the movie he's like talking to himself in this camera recorder because it says his therapist tells him to talk things out whenever he has anxiety. So like the whole show felt like a neo-noir detective thing while he was investigating a neo-noir detective thing, and it was just so good. I loved it. Of course, one shots. That is about all I did, except for one thing that we'll bring up later.
Yes.
That was showing into my releases for this week.
Yes, sir.
In movies on VOD/digital on Tuesday, April 15th, The Woman in the Yard and A Working Man were released on VOD, and Friday, April 18th, The Wolfman and the Order released on VOD. In theaters on Friday, April 18th, Sinners, for the second episode in a row, was released. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. I'm on the fence about seeing this because I'm just not... Nosferatu ruined vampire stuff for me in theaters, so I'm like, I'll probably wait till it's on streaming to see it. It's getting amazing reviews. Trey went and saw it, and I do have a review from him to read. He said, Sinners is easily the best movie of the year that doesn't have a chicken jockey in it, and the best vampire anything since Midnight Mass on Netflix. If you only see a handful of movies this year, make sure Sinners is one of them. And it's equal parts smart and dumb fun, slow burn but well worth it. In a world where TV is king, this movie checks all the boxes. Big director, big actors, original idea, not a remake, not a reboot. It isn't perfect, but we need more original films made by big, qualified, capable people. Took a lot of chances, which I appreciated. There was one oddball, lengthy sequence that it's done all in one shot that, if left to less talented hands than Coogler's, would have not worked whatsoever, but that one solidified that I will eventually own this movie. Michael B. Jordan kills it in a dual role as twin brothers Smoke and Stack. I have been a Haley Steinfeld fan since True Grit, and she shines here, but it's the supporting cast and newcomers that knocked it out of the park. Director Ryan Coogler expertly used these characters to build his world, and did so in such a way that I truly cared about the human characters and didn't want any bad things to happen to them. The sound design is incredible, making the jump scares almost offensively effective. The jump scares were so good and sudden and loud that they felt hateful in the moment and went through me like a bolt of lightning each time. He did not feel the 2-hour-plus runtime, and when it reached for the climax, he was wishing there was more. And he did say there is a mid and post-credit scene, so sit tight after the movie. Getting amazing reviews. Ryan Coogler's passion project. Did you see he was influenced by Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? Because the Death's red eyes, and in the trailers, the vampires have like glows in their eyes. I'll probably see it when it's on streaming, which by today's standards, 2-3 weeks. The Wedding Banquet. Hoping to stay in the country, a gay man proposes a green card marriage to a female friend in exchange for paying for her IVF treatment. However, things soon get complicated when his grandmother surprises them with plans for an extravagant Korean wedding banquet. Sneaks, released in theaters. When a designer sneaker unwittingly finds himself lost in New York City, he must dig deep into his soul, spelled S-O-L-E, to rescue his sister and return to his rightful owner. And The Ballad of Wallace Island got an expansion, and streaming Friday, April 18th saw the documentary Oklahoma City Bombing, American Terror, and Companion released on Max, and on Saturday, April 19th, The Room Next Door released on Netflix. On TV side of things, I did forget one thing from last week. Doctor Who, Season 15 premiere on Disney Plus on Saturday, April 12th. On Sunday, April 13th, saw the Season 2 premiere of The Last of Us on HBO, which, so good. I'm loving it.
That's what I've heard you and some others that are really into it.
Yeah.
Have been saying.
Godfather of Harlem Season 4 released on MGM Plus. Wednesday, April 16th saw the series premiere of Sherlock and Daughter on the CW, and the series premiere of Government Cheese on Apple TV Plus. Thursday, April 17th saw the Season 5 of Law and Order Organized Crime released on Peacock, and Season 1 of Ransom Canyon on Netflix. And Friday, April 18th saw Jane, Season 3 come to Apple TV Plus. I do have one piece of music. A24 is launching A24 Music. No other details about it. That is all my releases for this week.
I vote, since you and I are both not horror people, we just have Trey review the horror movies for us.
Unless there's like an off chance that I do want to see it.
Yeah, unless it's something like Five Nights at Freddy's, or where I'm
Exactly.
like, yeah, okay,
We'll go see it.
yeah. Because I don't know. I think I've talked about it on here before. I love horror games. I can't do horror movies.
No.
Maybe it's because I'm in control.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
I'm totally down for that.
in my releases this week, we have a few. April 14th, we had Forever Skies on PS5 and PC from Far From Home, a first-person survival game set in a post-apocalyptic, ecologically ruined Earth. Play solo or with up to 3 friends as you build, upgrade, and fly a high-tech airship, scavenge resources, craft tools, and face dangers on the surface as you hunt for a cure to save humanity. Repos, released on PC from devs Bazo Attila Berthold and publisher Acapura Games. In the facility, each step, each shot, and each mistake costs precious energy. Rendered eternally in black and white, this mystery can be unraveled. The puzzle can be solved. Don't ask who tried to solve it before. Do the job, find oxygen, and sleep. Go deeper, and don't ask about Aaron. It's part of, it must have something to do with like Eldritch Horror, because it's part of this Eldritch Horror sale that Steam had going on this week.
Okay.
This one's a lot more explicitly Eldritch. Stygian Outer Gods enters early access on PC from developer Mystial Games and publisher Fulcrum Publishing. Dive into a hostile world that challenges your very existence in this survival horror game with RPG elements. Unravel a 1,000-year-old mystery, risk your sanity, and face the Outer Gods with your skills. Every bullet and every decision counts. Now, are you up to the task? As well as Viscera Fest on PC from devs Acid Man Games and Fireplant Games and publisher Fulcrum Publishing. Viscera Fest is a sci-fi fantasy single-player arena first-person shooter with minor collectathon elements. Fight through hordes of aliens and eldritch monstrosities wielding a slew of powerful weapons, juggling your resources and exploring over 23 intricately designed handcrafted levels. April 15th saw the release of Chains of Freedom on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation from Nord Current. Embark on a thrilling journey in a high-stakes turn-based tactics game, lead an elite squad in a fictional dystopian Eastern European country as you unravel a conspiracy threatening the state, navigate intense strategic battles, and adapt to ever-evolving challenges to prevail. As well as Dive the Depths on PC from devs Frizuo and Starpixel Studios and publisher Starpixel. Dive the Depths is an action roguelike set beneath the ocean's surface. As a humble diver, you must navigate the world filled with bizarre sea creatures, submerged ruins, and forgotten histories. Can you conquer the depths and unravel the secrets that's hidden beneath the waves? Indiana Jones and the Great Circle made its way to PS5.
Yes.
And Monument Valley 1 and 2 released on Switch. April 16th saw the release of Synergy on PC from devs Leakier Studio and publisher Goblins Publishing and H2 Interactive. An ecosystem city builder in a unique world. Build your settlement, manage your workers, and optimize your resources. Analyzing your environment, spreading new plants, and harvesting them are key to prosperity. April 17th saw the release of Bionic Bay on PC and PlayStation from devs Psychoflow Studio and Marina Oi and publisher Kepler Interactive. A scientist uses a unique teleportation instrument to escape an ancient biomechanical world filled with imaginative technology, deadly traps, and hidden secrets. Block Fortress 2 released on PC from Forsaken Media. Choose a planet, build your fortress, and prepare for war. Arm yourself with powerful weapons, deploy troops, and defend your stronghold against relentless attacks. In this action-packed block builder, survival is earned and only the strongest will remain. Gorn 2 released on PC and VR from devs Cortopia and Free Lives and publisher Devolver Digital. Mandagoria, Whispers of the Witch Tree on all major platforms from devs Primal Game Studio and publisher Knight's Peak. Slay Your Way in Mandagoria, Whispers of the Witch Tree, an epic action RPG in a dark fantasy world. Battle monsters across a 40-plus hour story. Master 6 unique classes, craft hundreds of useful items, and explore the secrets of an expansive interconnected world. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate on PC, Switch, and PlayStation from Rocket Panda Games. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with the heart of a fighting game, showcasing nostalgic pixel art and the latest cross-platform online multiplayer. Experience the biggest and most expansive entry in the Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds series to date. as well as Poltergeist Possession Party on all major platforms from developer Midoriya Limited and publisher Amplified Games. Supernatural Multiplayer Madness, where 8 players use sneaky sabotage to get opponents caught by raging monsters. Play as a mischievous ghost who possesses everyday objects to gain special powers and show off. Battle on spooky maps full of traps and use wacky, powerful power-ups to sacrifice your friends. As well as Timpopo on PC, Xbox, and Switch from Witchbeam and publisher Cult Games, a psychedelic soundscape in the sky. Puzzle through the seasons by conducting chaotic Timpopo to rescue musical flowers. Design and populate your melodic garden, then let the music play. But that one is everything you do, you move to the beat, I'm pretty sure.
Is that the one from that Direct?
Yeah, that Direct that we watched a while back.
Yeah.
Not Necrodancer, not Crypto the Necrodancer. This one was from that summer showcase from last summer, I think, or like this last fall. Yeah, this wasn't in the Nintendo Direct. There was another thing or at least I showed you the trailer. Anyway, White Knuckle, also released on PC from developer Dark Machine Games and publisher Dread XP. White Knuckle is a first-person roguelite speed climbing game ascend through the guts of a substructure 17 using precision movement mechanics. Sharp reflexes and resource management will bring you out from under 10,000 meters of concrete and decay. That is a horror game. April 18th, Lost Skies entered early access on PC from devs Bossa Games and publisher Humble Games. Chart a course in a breathtaking but fractured world. Explore ancient ruins, master advanced technology, and craft your very own skyship to brave nature's fury and colossal threats in Lost Skies. Team up with friends or go it alone in this awe-inspiring cooperative survival adventure. And finally, Lunar Remastered Collection on all major platforms from devs Ashibi and Game Arts and publisher Gung Ho Online Entertainment America. Dive into the enchanting worlds of Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. Tag along with on Alex and Hero's quest and challenge enemies like the Magic Emperor and the God of Destruction to save the world from dire peril in 2 adventures set 1,000 years apart from each other. Apparently Lunar is like an old retro, I mean these are remasters of retro turn-based RPGs, and a series that only has 4 games, but like 12 or something releases because the first and second game have been re-released and remade to high heaven. Like they made the first game, they made the second game, and then they remade the first game, and that was like maybe 6 years later. It's crazy. Yeah. That's my releases for this week.
I got my first batch of miscellaneous and posters. We got new posters for Interview with the Vampire Season 3, Final Destination Bloodlines, One Battle After Another, 5th Lilo and Stitch for the 5th episode in a row, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Ballerina, and the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation. In terms of trailers, we got a trailer for Eddington on the 2nd episode in a row, releasing July 18th in theaters. Hurry Up Tomorrow, releasing May 16th in theaters for the 3rd episode in a row. The Life of Chuck, releasing June 13th in theaters. Weapons, August 8th in theaters. Final Destination Bloodlines, May 16th in theaters. The Roses, August 29th in theaters. 28 Years Later, for the 3rd episode in a row, releasing June 20th in theaters. Him, releasing September 19th in theaters. And The Toxic Avenger, coming out August 29th in theaters. In terms of release dates, Fixed will be released on Netflix on August 13th. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Season 17, will premiere on July 9th on FXX, and will include the second half of the Abbott Elementary crossover. Wildwood, Leica's next film, has been delayed to 2026. Twisted Metal Season 2 premieres July 31st on Peacock. Star Wars Starfighter releases May 28th, 2027 in theaters. If you're wondering what that is, more news on that later. And the King of the Hill revival series will release this summer on Hulu.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch that. I still remember when we were recording that episode and I said Bobby was a cook. You're like, what?
Yeah, we paused so I could look it up.
Yeah.
Wildwood being delayed breaks my heart, but also it's stop motion and also Leica, so they just need to. I'm a fan of taking more time, but also as a consumer, I'm like I need it now.
Me,
especially Leica, because Leica movies, because of how they make the movies, Leica movies come every once in a while. Yeah. So
every 4 or 5 years.
What was the last one? Was it
Missing Link?
It was either.
I feel like there was one after that.
Link. There might have. Okay, Google break. Leica.
Was Window
I say Google break.
Leica?
I'm going to talk this out loud. Kubo was before
Yeah, Kubo was before Missing Link, but was Wendell and Wild like on Netflix?
No, I don't believe so. Their last movie was Missing Link, 2019.
Yeah.
So this will be a 7-year difference. Before that it was 3 years with Kubo and the Two Strings and Missing Link, and then before that was Box Trolls and Kubo were 2 years apart, and Paranormal. So there was a 2-year gap between Paranorman and Box Trolls and Kubo, and before that it was 3 years. So they average about 2 to 3 years. So 7
this is
years.
Gonna be,
they did contract work. Oh no, they haven't done contract work since 2011. So
it's like a passion project
the
or
writer
something
strike happened, and COVID happened, and I would say as far as animation goes, stop motion is not very COVID friendly.
Yeah.
so
if we consider if it 2019 and we put the 2-year buffer on it, I'd say COVID through 2022. Writer strike was 2023.
All that say, that breaks my heart. But also take your time, please.
Yeah.
Don't rush this.
Yeah, don't make it bad by rushing it.
What's that thing? You know the quote by Miyamoto where it's a delayed game is eventually good, a rushed game is forever bad.
Yeah.
And then I made
Same
that
thing
meme.
applies to movies.
Then I made that meme where a delayed movie is eventually good, a rushed movie is Cats.
You're not wrong. I remember that. That was too good.
Anyway,
rush movies.
So just remember that is my quote. That is an alteration of the Miyamoto quote.
Exactly. In castings, Emma Darcy has joined Tom Cruise in Alejandro G. Inarritu's new movie. The Harry Potter TV series, HBO confirmed 6 castings. Nick Frost as Hagrid, John Lithgow as Dumbledore, Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch, Luke Talon as Quirinius Quirrell, Papa Asidu as Severus Snape, and Janet McTeer as Minerva McGonagall. I'm still interested to see. They'll probably have some no names for the kids. Dune Messiah, for the 3rd episode in a row, Florence Pugh confirmed she is set to return as Princess Irulan, and filming begins this summer. Sam Neill has joined the cast of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire sequel for the 2nd episode in a row. Mikey Madison passed on starring in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie after she was offered a role. Andrew Koji is reportedly in talks to star as Ryu in the Street Fighter movie. Do you know how that's from? Ryu. Your Mother has cast Giancarlo Esposito, John Cho, Tiffany Boone, and Tremel Tillman. Pete Davidson's been cast alongside Nicholas Hoult in How to Rob a Bank. And Star Wars Starfighter, as previously mentioned, is Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. Ryan Gosling will officially star in the film. It's described as a standalone adventure that takes place a few years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. Filming begins this fall. I can only assume that he's going to be like a smuggler or something, because I can't see him as Jedi. I can't see Ryan Gosling as a Jedi. I'm sorry, Ryan, but
what if he's like an alien? What if he's in makeup and stuff? I was just saying. I mean, I could see him as a Jedi.
He doesn't give off Jedi vibes for me. He's not British. Which is the telltale. Keanu Reeves has been cast as the villain in a Weezer movie. The film will be mockumentary style and described as a cross between Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and We're the Al Yankovic Story. For those who do not know, that's Weezer, the band. In Ahsoka Season 2, Admiral Akbar will return and go head-to-head with Thrawn, and Hayden Christensen will return as Anakin, and Zeb will return. That is my first half of Miscellaneous.
We'll go through my gaming news here. Nintendo announced that the Switch 2 console itself will not receive a price increase in the United States. However, some accessories will. This includes the Pro Controller was $79.99. It is now $84.99. A new pair of Joy-Con. A new pair of Joy-Con were $89.99. They are now $94.99. That's where we get to the stuff that was already that expensive, that being a little, but hey, only a $5 increase. I think the most increase I saw was a separate, so you will get a dock when you buy the Switch, because there's some people that I guess don't know that. I just want to be very clear.
I feel like that's kind of a given.
I keep emphasizing how much misinformation there's going on with the Switch 2 stuff, so I am trying to be as clear as possible. So if it sounds like I'm talking dumb, it's because I'm just trying to
say it again for those in the back.
Yeah, it will come with a dock, but a new dock, it went from like $90 to like $112.
Okay,
or something like that. Maybe it was $100 to $112, but still a $12 increase. A carrying case went up like $6-7. So like that kind of sucks, but hey, the console itself's not increasing.
It's gonna be and still good price for a console.
Everything else is completely optional. Now some people might be like, well, I absolutely have to have the Pro Controller, and it being $85. You can buy a $15 cheaper Pro Controller on the Nintendo that works for the Nintendo Switch. It will work on your Switch too. It just won't be able to do everything. By everything, it won't have the built-in mic and it won't have a headphone jack. Everything else looks like it's pretty much identical. So just keep that in mind when you're buying accessories for your Switch 2 and you're like, I can't believe this is all costing me $800. Well, you can save yourself some money and spread that $800 across scattered purchases. Maybe that's what I'm going to be doing. Because I'm definitely not going to be getting everything at once like I did with the Switch. If you remember, I got everything at the Switch with the Switch came out, and that was $500 I spent, I think. So anyway, gameplay was revealed for Bungie's sci-fi extraction shooter Marathon, coming to PS5, Xbox, and PC September 23rd. Multiplayer party game Mousework was revealed, a game utilizing the Switch 2's mouse controls. So that's pretty cool. People are already making like games with Nintendo's mouse controls in mind. We've talked about the potential of that before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Action RPG Rise of Rebellion releases April 22nd on PC. Horror Life Sim RPG Neverway was announced, coming soon to PC. The Year of the Crab update for Another Crab's Treasure, adding new content such as more enemies, costumes, and a new Game Plus mode, releases April 21st on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, coming to Switch later. Prelude Dark Pain was announced, an open-world dark fantasy RPG featuring music by Minecraft and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles composer Kumi Tanioka. A Kickstarter is coming soon. Void Sails, the game about sailing a ship through space, releases May 14th on PC. The final update of Baldur's Gate 3 released April 15th. Among Us 3D releases May 6th on PC. Upcoming tough platformer Through the Nightmares releases this June on all major platforms. The Director's Cut update for Nigo Dorica released April 16th. The survival horror game Hear Tell of Hauntings was announced, set in the 1880s about an outlaw searching for her friend on an estate in the Montana mountains. Looked pretty cool. A first look was given to Star Wars Zero Company, a tactics RPG game coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation in 2026. I think that was teased a long time ago. Papers, Please and Lovecraft-inspired game Static Dread releases August 7th on PC. Horror card game Deckline was announced for PC. Nintendo released a 16-minute Mario Kart World Direct. It was more like an overview trailer on April 17th, in which a lot of information was rehashed. We were kind of hoping they kept saying, hey, this is going to be the thing that shows you why it's worth $80. I don't think they did that, because a lot of it was just kind of going, hey, this is how items work in Mario Kart. This is how racing works in Mario Kart.
These are the worlds in Mario.
Yeah, look at these characters that you saw in the first trailer. We got to see some new costumes, which was cool. I think, and we saw a blurry screenshot or like blurry picture from the demos showcase. We got an actual in-game look at Waluigi's vampire costume that is called a Wampire.
Yes, absolutely.
But we did get the new information we got is battle mode is coming back. Only balloon battle mode and the coin runners mode. So the cops and robbers mode isn't coming back, and the bombs mode isn't coming back. Cops and robbers is the one I'm really missing, especially with 24 players. Can you imagine how chaotic and fun that would be? So maybe in a future update, because this game, if it's anything like Mario Kart was in the last one, they'll be supporting this game. I have to hope they're supporting this game to make us pay $80 for it. Missions will be in the open world mode. So when you're just driving around, you can find hidden objects and missions to unlock costumes and have a reason to drive around. Charge jumping is now a thing in racing. If you drift without turning, your wheels will glow and you can jump in the air. You can just vertically jump in the air, and this can allow you to briefly drive on walls and get onto higher platforms, as well as a rewind mechanic in which you can rewind while your opponents will not if you miss any jumps or turns. And you can also split races into teams, up to 4 teams, since there's so many players they can do that. So that was all the new information there. Once again, I don't see this having a value more than $70, but also I'll end up getting it anyway. And then finally Nintendo, right before we started recording, Nintendo released a trailer for Nintendo Switch 2 featuring a retro-styled Paul Rudd and Joe, I can never say his last name right.
Latrulio. From Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
From Brooklyn Nine-Nine. As well as a couple others that we couldn't recognize.
Yeah.
But it was in reference to Paul Rudd's commercial that he was in for the Super Nintendo back in 1991. He was wearing the same outfit and had his hair long. That had to have been a wig, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, it was a cute little trailer. And that's my gaming news for this week.
Did you talk about the Bonanza Treehouse?
Well, that was several weeks ago, but I guess we can briefly.
We need to at least mention it
to make one of the 4 people that frequently watches us happy. We did. Jay and I did watch quite a bit of the Nintendo Treehouse demo of Donkey Kong Bonanza, which we actually have pulled up again.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
I'm so excited for it.
The one thing that I'm scared about is that you know how I am with collectathon games, and the fact that the game is all about everything being destructible, and so there's a collectible and everything you punch. Where I'm like, oh boy. Is this going to be fun, or is this going to cause me anxiety? Yep. How much I'm going to have to punch everything to make sure I unlock everything.
Yep.
But maybe we haven't seen all of the game yet, so maybe there's like some kind of solution to that kind of gameplay. Like for the people who feel the need to collect everything, maybe they're going to be like, you don't have to punch everything. You know?
Yeah. Because I will. I 100% will.
But
there you go, Trey.
There you go.
Please don't shadow ban us. And new looks. We got a new look at Pedro Pascal as Joel in The Last of Us Season 2 for the 6th episode in a row. New look at Eddington for the 2nd episode in a row at Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix. And our first look at Emma Stone and Austin Butler. A film follows a standoff between a small-town sheriff and a mayor during the COVID-19 pandemic. New look at Benedict Cumberbatch and The Roses for the 2nd episode in a row. New look at Michael B. Jordan behind the scenes of Sinners for the 2nd episode in a row. New clip from The Studio, which is this week, and they threw a quote on there saying, "I got you, the original director of Smile, to basically remake his own movie. If a scary smile can gross over $200 million, imagine what a scary wink could do." It's literally called Wink. And they have the actual director, and I watched it today. That's the one I was watching before I came here.
So instead of finding the grotesque, terrible smile monster, is it just going to be a giant pair of eyes, and one of them just slowly like, is it like winks at you?
Yep. And our Star Wars Story Season 2 for the 3rd episode in a row. We got our first clip. New images of The Infected from 28 years later for the 3rd episode in a row. Exclusive clip from The Wheel of Time Season 3. New clip from The Legend of Ochi. A new behind-the-scenes featurette of Jurassic World Rebirth for the 3rd episode in a row. New look at Tom Cruise hanging off a biplane 8,000 feet in the air with 140 mile an hour winds from Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning for the 3rd episode in a row. New logo. First look at The Mandalorian, Grogu, and Zeb. First look at Sigourney Weaver playing a pilot. And first look at an AT-AT battle sequence in The Mandalorian and Grogu. In terms of first looks, we got a first look at Weapons, which follows a town where an entire classroom of children disappear one night without a trace, starring Alden Ehrenreich, Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and Benedict Wong. First look at Smoke, new series from Blackbird creator Dennis Lehane, and starring Taron Egerton and Journey Smollett, follows a detective and an arson investigator who must chase after 2 serial arsonists.
Did you see the horror movie? I forget the name of it that you just said. I know you just said it. Weapons. Did you watch any of those little teasers?
I watched the one where like she's walking and then she disappears.
Yeah,
along the house.
There's one
that's creepy.
Where like it's a because all the teasers for those who don't know are like garage cams.
Yeah.
Or like doorbell cams. And there's one where it's like you can see to the end of the driveway and you just see these like silhouettes of these kids moving at like and I don't know if it's because the video itself was at a low frame rate or they actually made the kids look like they're running at a lower frame rate than the rest of the video. But they're like, they all have their arms out like this and are just running. And like, it looks like they're just playing and running, but it's black and white. There's no sound and you just see them slow. And it's at night and you just see them slowly
horrifying.
Make their way.
No, that's horrifying.
And I'm just like, I won't be watching this.
No.
But also, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, because it reminds me of some horror games I've played.
You love the idea.
I know it's a found footage. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's also something that reminds me of, like, the amount of horror games you play where you look at security footage and then it's security footage, so obviously it's going to be choppy and stuff.
Yeah.
So it being that choppy, I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
I hate this, but I love this.
I'm not going to see it, but I love it. It's just that stuff will give me nightmares. First look at Dexter Resurrection. First logo revealed for the animated Cat in the Hat movie. First look at Fixed, which is Jindy Tartakovsky's R-rated adult animated comedy starring Adam Devine, Idris Elba, Catherine Hahn, and Fred Armisen. It follows a dog who discovers he's going to be neutered in the morning. 100% we'll be seeing that.
I thought it was going to be releasing in theaters.
I did too. I think it went through like a
It probably,
thing,
yeah, it probably went through. I think
Netflix.
it got dropped by whoever was going to put it
Yeah.
in theaters, and then he had to shop around.
Because I remember talking about it.
Now, I sure do hope that they emphasize that this is a movie not for children. I mean, you can look at it and tell.
Yeah.
It's called Fixed.
I added adult into this description because they did not. And I'm like, okay. First look at him. First look at Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past, which will feature Ashley Eckstein returning to voice Brickhead's Ahsoka, and Ben Schwartz will voice Jackson. And first look at Rory McCann as Balin Skull in Ahsoka Season 2, of course replacing the late Ray Stevenson. And box office earnings and viewings, The Last of Us Season 2 for the 6th episode in a row premiered with 5.3 million viewers, a 10% increase from the Season 1 premiere. And Sinners for the 2nd episode in a row earned $4.7 million in domestic previews and is now tracking for $45 million to $50 million domestic opening weekend. And it earned $19.2 million in the film's domestic opening day, which is the second biggest opening for an original horror film this decade. In Glenn Powell news, he will star in a new original comedy film directed by Judd Apatow, and they will write the script together. Comedy follows a country western star in Freefall. New announcements: Rohan Campbell will star as a slasher villain Billy in a Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. Cinder, Britt Lower, David Dastmalchian, Anna Baryshnikov, and Jamie Lee Curtis will star in a new psychological horror film that follows a woman who experiences an e-commerce package delivery scam and becomes hellbent on discovering the identity of the Cinder. Takashi Yamazaki's next Godzilla film will be a direct sequel to Godzilla -1. A Killer Clowns from Outer Space remake is in the works with Ryan Gosling set to produce. Jesse Eisenberg's next film will be a musical comedy for A24. Did you hear about this? Mm-hmm. Follows a woman who is cast in a community theater musical but extremely loses herself in the role, starring Julianne Moore, Paul Giamatti, Haley Bailey, Colton Ryan, Havana Rose Liu, and Bernadette Peters. So excited for that.
Bernadette Peters. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They're cooking.
Yeah, exactly. Incidents Around the House, Jessica Chastain will star in a new horror film directed by Rob Savage. Film follows a haunting told from the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls Other Mommy. Honey Don't, Ethan Cohen's new film, follows Margaret Qualley as Honey, a lesbian private detective who investigates a questionable church and its leader, played by Chris Evans. A Pacific Rim prequel series moving forward to Amazon Prime Video with Eric Heiserer from Rival and Shadow and Bone writing. A Clueless TV series in the works at Peacock with Alicia Silverstone reprising her role as Cher. The Highlander remake is now officially moving forward to Amazon MGM, starring Henry Cavill and directed by Chad Stahelski. The live-action Akira remake is still happening. A new Star Wars trilogy is confirmed to be in the works from Simon Kinberg, with films from James Mangold, Charmin Obaid Chinoy, and Taika Waititi are also still in the works but not a part of the trilogy. A new animated series called Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord will release in 2026, and it follows Maul navigating life before the events of Star Wars Rebels, including training a Padawan. Zoe Kravitz is in talks to direct a new thriller called How to Save a Marriage for Sony. Robert Pattinson will produce the film, and Ryan Coogler says an X-Files reboot will be his next project, saying, quote, "I'm fired up to get back to it, and that, some of those episodes, if we do our jobs right, will be really scary." Do have 3 things miscellaneous news. Miscellaneous mentionables. Tim Allen confirms that Woody and Buzz will reunite in Toy Story, and it will focus a lot on Jesse. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Jabba the Hutt's son, Rhoda, will be a gladiator with massive biceps, played by Jeremy Allen White.
Why is every...
I saw this and I'm like, we're back.
Why does every piece of news we get about Jeremy Allen White just...
It's because Papa's Bearria.
Maybe it's just because Papa's Bearria, so subconsciously I'm like, I associate this man with the funniest news possible.
Exactly. But also Rhoda as... I'm like... Do they know what a Hutt is?
Yeah, Hutts are grotesque slug-like creatures. I don't think you can make them hot. I know it's the internet.
Now, I did see a picture of what the like concept art they showed, and he's like a Hutt, but he's also has very clear muscles on his arms. He's got his arms raised. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Okay, maybe he'll be built like Maui.
With legs.
It's just Maui without legs.
Exactly. Luscious locks. Okay. An Oscar-winning documentary, No Other Land, is now available to rent at nootherland.com, and all proceeds from rentals will go to support the Massafariata communities featured in the doc, including support to families attacked by settlers. That is all my miscellaneous news.
I do have anniversaries. Not a whole lot. This is an off year for anniversaries because a lot released this week, but not enough of, unless it's really old. I don't like to do really old or something that Jay and I will either laugh at or
we care.
Not a whole lot of that this week. So April 13th was the 30th anniversary of Crystalis on NES and the 10th anniversary of Mortal Kombat X on PC. April 14th was the 25th anniversary of American Psycho. April 15th was the 15th anniversary of No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise on Xbox 360 and PS3. April 16th was the 5th anniversary of Drug Dealer Simulator on PC and Xbox.
Nice.
Right? I'm like, what a random... All those simulator games are like comedy gold, but beyond that...
There's not much to it.
Yeah. April 17th was the 10th anniversary of Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yes. Oh my, yes.
Doesn't
Dude,
that
I need to watch
doesn't that make
again.
the first one like...
Wait, hold on. The anniversary of...
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
2?
Yeah.
Is how old?
10 years.
So I'd say the other one's like 13.
13, something
12
like that,
13,
yeah.
14.
I love both movies, but if there's
goodness.
one problem I have with it, it's that you build up the relationship in the first movie and like how like my wife left me and she's like, oh, that's so sad, and only to have her do the same exact thing just so you can introduce another love interest just for the sake of like, that was my only problem.
Yeah.
But I was 10 years, so I was 15 when that came out. So that was right when I started to be like, hey, wait a minute, that's bad writing.
Yeah.
But other than that the movie's
when you see
funny.
me, fat Kevin James on a Segway, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
I loved Paul Blart Mall Cop so much.
Tune in another 8 years when we get the rights to remake it with Jay.
Yes, you know it. I've never ridden a Segway, and that makes it so much better.
We'll wait until then.
The ball pit scene where the guy's in front of him, and he just slowly rises up on the Segway. Comedy gold.
April 18th was the 25th anniversary of Samurai Showdown Warrior's Rage on PS1, and April 19th was the 20th anniversary of Psychonauts on PC and Xbox. Psychonauts is a really, really good game. That is one we have to play eventually.
Yeah.
I say we have to play as if we have Let's Plays that are going on the channel. They exist. I'm trying to get to them. Life gets in the way when your only editor is me.
Yep.
So, Trey, I was actually like, so do you do it because you just prefer to do it yourself? Or it's like, no, it's because I just don't trust Jay's laptop.
As you rightfully should. We've lost tier list because my laptop dies.
Because Jay knows the process. It's just a matter of getting him to sit down and know how to do it so he can do it too.
And having the right equipment.
But he just needs the right equipment.
Yeah.
But that's my anniversaries for this week.
I have a couple of birthdays. Sunday, April 13th saw the 75th birthday of Ron Perlman, a Hellboy actor and personal best friend of Stumpy.
We can't make those claims, man.
Personal best friend of your dad?
We can't make those claims, man. We met him briefly at a Comic-Con this year.
Don't trust him. Don't listen to what he say.
He was a very nice man.
He was.
But you could tell he was exhausted because he was a last-minute addition.
Yeah, that's right. Allison Williams turned 37 from Girls and Megan. Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and AP Bio turned 49. Monday, April 14th saw the 48th birthday of Sarah Michelle Gellar from Scooby-Doo and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The 52nd birthday of Adrian Brody, Oscar-winning actor behind The Pianist and The Brutalist. The 48th birthday of Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, a Mythic Quest actor and co-owner of Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds. Also on Monday, April 14th, there were a whole slew of others. 67th birthday of Peter Capaldi, 65th birthday of Brad Garrett, 57th birthday of Anthony Michael Hall, and 29th birthday of Abigail Breslin.
And my mom's birthday. Happy birthday,
Your mom's birthday was Monday?
Yeah. It's always been a thing of, me, grew up loving Scooby-Doo, and she'd be like, Mom shares your birthday with Daphne.
Tuesday, April 15th, saw the 35th birthday of Emma Watson, from Beauty and the Beast and The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Hermione Granger in Harry Potter. 43rd birthday of Seth Rogen from Neighbors, Pineapple Express, and Sausage Party.
You've gone from trying to get me to laugh to trying to make me mad at you.
Yes.
And I'm kind of loving it, but also move on.
I will. For that pause, I smiled wickedly at Snoopy. The 66th birthday of Emma Thompson from Love Actually, Cruella, and Nanny McPhee. And the 46th birthday of Luke Evans, 47th of Chris Stapleton, and 28th of Maisie Williams. Wednesday, April 16th, saw the 23rd birthday of Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, and the All Too Well, the short film actress, for all you Swifties out there. 29th birthday of Anya Taylor-Joy from The Queen's Gambit, Furiosa, and Last Night in Soho. She's only 29. 60th birthday of Martin Lawrence and Martin Bad Boys and Boog from Open Season. And the 60th birthday of John Cryer from Two and a Half Men, Pretty in Pink, and Supergirl. Thursday, April 17th, saw the 53rd birthday of Jennifer Garner from 13 Going on 30 and Elektra star, and attendee of the same Eras Tour show as me. 66th birthday of Sean Bean, go-to big-name actor when you want the character to die. Friday, April 18th, saw the 54th birthday of David Tennant from Jessica Jones and DuckTales and the 10th Doctor. 62nd birthday of Conan O'Brien, iconic late-night talk show host turned podcaster. 41st birthday of America Ferrera from How to Train Your Dragon, Barbie, and Superstore. And 37th birthday of Vanessa Kirby from Pieces of a Woman and Napoleon Star and the MCU's Sue Storm. And Saturday, April 19th, saw the 44th birthday of Hayden Christensen, legend known for playing Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and the 46th birthday of Kate Hudson from Fool's Gold, Kung Fu Panda 3, and Glass Onion Knives Out. 36th birthday of Simu Liu from Kim's Convenience and Barbie and MCU's Shang-Chi, and the 79th birthday of Tim Curry from Clue, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Muppets Treasure Island, whole slew of other things. Those are the first two that came to my mind.
I have anime news. The Gorilla God Go-To Girl English dub premieres April 20th. The English dub of Kowloon Generic Romance premiered April 19th. Hyakusho Kizoku Season 3 premieres this fall. The English dub of I've Been Killing Slime for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level Season 2 premiered April 19th. Bye Bye Earth Season 2 English dub premiered April 18th. Black Butler Emerald Witch Arc English dub premiered April 19th. Deacon no Megura The Earthbound Mole premieres July 7th. I Won't Die Cause I Was Banned from the Afterlife. A shady self-proclaimed hermit named Momoyuki Mogura, aka Mogura, is banned from the afterlife due to an incident where he now collects spirit-possessed will-o-wisps in his lantern, hoping to make a comeback. It seems that those who encounter him begin to see peculiar things. This time, Natsumi Iguchi, the author of Hozuki's Cool-Headedness, brings a mysterious yet comedic story where living humans and ghosts intersect with the here and now. The English dub of the Anne Shirley anime premiered April 19th. Fire Force Season 3 English dub premiered April 18th. Season 6 of the Kingdom anime premieres this October. Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon premieres this fall. And finally, Windbreaker Season 2 English dub premiered April 17th.
And my comics on DC, the side of things, I only got one for Superman, third episode in a row. Of course, this week was Superman Day. New look at Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen, new behind-the-scenes teaser. And then new look at Hot Girl, Metamorpho, Superman, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor.
Dude, Metamorpho looks so good. I think as far as DC, DC movies, I'm stumbling. As far as DC movies go in the costume and accuracy of how bright and colorful comics are, we're back.
It's nailing it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why I love these Matt Reeves Batman movies, but I cannot wait for this DC movie universe Batman movie.
It's gonna be like a gray and black suit.
And say maybe some blue, maybe
some
a
blue.
yellow logo or
Yes.
something. You know, like
yes.
And the villain design in it. You know, what you. I love all the 80s and 90s Batman movies. I know some people are like, oh, they're bad. I think all of them, the ones that are bad, they are campy on purpose. You're missing the point.
Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, they're campy on purpose. They're trying to emulate something while also making fun of it. And even though that does result in a film that could critically be seen as bad, I love them. They're good. Fight me. I mean, bat nipples, that's a little questionable.
Bat credit card.
Bat credit card. Bat credit card. Okay, I won't make the reference. I'm sorry. Anyway, but the costume designs for the villains, like, it's just, I don't know. Batman villains have such good designs.
Two-Face.
And you have to know, it's so fun to come with these designs and to have to make them grounded in every Batman movie we've gotten since Batman Begins is just like, okay.
Well, not every Batman movie.
Every live action.
There we go.
Batman movie.
Lego Batman movie.
There's a Lego Batman movie. The designs were all great, but they were also emulating the animated series in the 60s show. So
It was. I started watching that backstage during practice Thursday night.
Oh, you weren't watching How to Train Your Dragon 2?
No, because I found out last night it's not on anywhere. I have to rent it.
Oof.
I was going to watch it last night.
We should get the opening scene on your phone.
We do. Just filmed the first.
This is Burke.
This is Burke.
It's not a good impression, but I think it does enough for people to get.
Exactly.
Yeah, anyway.
On the Marvel side of things, for the 9th episode in a row, Daredevil Born Again released the season finale. Beforehand, we got our first official look at Daredevil and the Punisher. We got our final poster, and then it was confirmed this week that Season 2 will release in 2026. We got our first official look showing Fogwell's gym. After watching the finale, I'll rate the whole show 9.
9? Okay.
9 out of 10. No fault to the finale, bringing it down a half point. It just overall 9 out of 10. Yeah. If I'm being honest, 9 out of 10. But the finale itself, oh my goodness. I was like, have you seen?
That has I saw the scene.
Oh, dude. I don't think it's a spoiler, but when I say that, when Vincent D'Onofrio was like, there's one scene where he's shocked that they let them film and then also let them keep in. I texted you. I'm like, I don't know when this is gonna happen. And then
then it happened. All caps, but you're like, I found it.
I found it. I was literally watching it, and I was like side-eyeing my TV when I realized what was gonna happen. I didn't know it was gonna be that. I thought it was gonna, and I literally went, oh, out loud.
Yeah.
At like 10:30 at night. It's
pretty gruesome.
Oh my goodness. It is the most gruesome. You thought in season 1 when he smashed the dude's head with a car door was bad?
All I'm going to say, when's Kingpin coming to Mortal Kombat?
Exactly. It's like that. It's like that. It's so good. Dude, it's so good. I'm so excited for season 2. I'm so excited for the possibilities. And of course, the line he says, which I'm not going to say for spoiler reasons. It ended so good. But it makes me want season 2 right now. I don't want to have to wait a full another year for it. I love Daredevil so much. Thunderbolts for the 6th episode in a row. We got a new look at the Sentry/the Void. New teaser and a final trailer was released. A new poster. And Florence Pugh says she emailed Kevin Feige to convince him to let her jump out the second tallest building in the world for the movie, saying, quote, I was being a sassy Karen, emailing Kevin, being like, this will do wonders for the press tour. We have to do this. The Fantastic Four First Steps, we got a new teaser early on in the week for the 3rd episode in a row, which featured a new look at Joseph Quinn and Johnny Storm, and then a new full trailer released, I think, Thursday, which featured our first official look at Julia Garner as Silver Surfer, first look at Mr. Fantastic using his stretching powers, new look at the Fantastic Car, a new peek at Galactus. We also came with a new poster. Did you watch it?
I watched bits and pieces. I haven't been able to sit down and watch it full, but dude, I was worried when they were saying Johnny would be less of a we're dialing down Johnny a little bit. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
But then I saw, I'm like, okay, no, we're fine. They're dialing down the womanizing and they're dialing up the snarkiness.
Exactly.
Which I'm like, okay.
Which is not a spoiler because in the trailer she reveals she's pregnant in it.
And then
he hugs her. He's like, you're going to be such a good mom.
And you're going to be such a good dad. I'm kidding. You're not prepared for this.
Exactly. We're going to be the best uncles.
I'm like,
I'm here for it.
Alrighty. As long as that snark is there, you can dial down the other reoccurring aspects of his personality.
Yeah. And just keep the snarkiness. I'm loving it. I'm so excited for this dude. And then Pedro Pascal says he inspired his performance as Reed Richards from an octopus, saying, quote, I thought of the brilliance of an octopus, not in any literal physical translate way, but I put it into my subconscious.
Behind the scenes photos of Pedro Pascal playing the clarinet before going on stage.
I was going to say, Matt Shagman revealed that Mr. Fantastic has 3 hearts. That's a little animal nerd joke for you. No one got that.
When questioning why Mr. Fantastic is only animated with 6 arms instead of 8, despite
Exactly. He's not a squid. He doesn't have 8 arms and two tentacles.
He's making an actual anatomical joke, and I'm making SpongeBob jokes. If you want to know the difference between the two of us,
check out my Twitter. Avengers Doomsday, Anthony Mackie says it will end on a cliffhanger, which, I mean, we kind of expected.
Yeah.
John Bernthal says that he and Tom Holland read lines together for their Marvel auditions while they shot Pilgrimage together. He said, quote, he read with me for Punisher, and I read with him for Spider-Man. We both got cast. Love it. That is all my comics news. In celebrity deaths, I do have a couple. Wink Martindale was 91, a veteran game show host of Tic Tac Doe, Gambit, and more. Of course, an actor and a voice actor. Jean Marsh was 90. Frenzy and Willow actress. Patty Higson was 83. English producer of Comfort and Joy and the Magdalene Sisters. Jadwiga Jankowska-Cieslak was 74. Polish actress behind Frenzy and Willow. Nora Honor was 71, Filipino actress and singer. Patrick Adiarte was 81, Filipino actor behind The King and I and Flower Drum Song. And Mizuki Itagaki, 24, was Japanese actor behind Shuriken Sentai Ninja and Hibiki, as well as some other animes I forget. My sources this week were Deadline, Movie Insider, @BDisgusting, Fandango, Bloomberg, Harper's Bazaar, The Insider, Vanity Fair, IMDb, Nexus Point News, Spotlight ID, Collider, Variety, Entertainment Weekly, Famous Birthdays, and of course, Discussing Film.
Want to thank my sources this week: IGN, Discussing Film, Crunchyroll, and official sites and socials. It's a light week when I only have the 3 reoccurring sources and no one else. Once again, we're doing a draft this week.
Oh, we will warn you there's not going to be an episode next week. We got special stuff.
We got a trip going on. And this week was also because of holiday. I think we said beginning it's going to be a short one.
Yeah.
But we're doing draft again. This week is Disney villains.
Do you have that coin flip thing?
I can once again flip the coin. Hold on. Call it
heads. That worked for me last time. Tails. Okay.
I go first.
You go first.
My first one is Hades.
Oh, okay. Nice. That was on... Okay, I put Hercules, but that was on my backup list. My first one is going to be... Thank goodness you didn't take it, because I didn't know what I was going to do. Scar.
Okay.
That was my first one.
That's my number 6.
Well, then what's the one that we... Okay, my second one is going to be Maleficent.
Okay.
These aren't necessarily my favorites, but it's just...
Yeah. She's not even on my list.
Yeah.
My second one is Rourke from Atlantis.
Nope, not on my list.
And my third one is John Silver.
Oh, I forgot about John Silver.
Long John Silver, Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet.
My 3 favorite Disney movies. Hercules, Treasure Planet, and Atlantis.
I could have played the jerk card and took Hades from you.
You could have, yeah.
I didn't. My third one is going to be Ursula.
It's my number 7.
And then my fourth one is going to be Dr. Facilier.
It's my number 8. So I say my 4 and 5 now?
Yeah.
So my fourth one is Jafar.
That was my number 11, I think.
And my 5th one is Ratigan.
I almost put him on here.
We didn't overlap this time.
No, my 5th one is Cloud Frollo. Follow-up was going to be specifically 2016's Shere Khan.
The other 2 I had on my list, because I only wrote down 10, was Yzma and Mother Gothel.
I had Clayton on here.
Clayton, it's a very good one.
And then I had Gaston and Cruella. And
so,
of course, Hades and
just to say our 5 again, I had Hades, Rourke, Long John Silver, Jafar, and Ratigan.
I had Scar, Maleficent, Ursula, Dr. Facilier, and Cloud Frollo.
I'd say you win.
On power.
On power. If we're going to
Ursula
have them,
and Dr. Facilier
if we're going to have them battle, if we're having battle, Hades wins in the end because all of them
end up
coming to him.
That is true.
But that also at the same time,
I have a witch, a sea witch, and a voodoo witch.
Yeah. But and then if we just want to go with Disney like villains alone, like how they're written and stuff, you have a lot of good ones.
Scar was like my half.
Scar, Ursula, Maleficent, or you would say the other 2 again?
Dr. Facilier.
And
Cloud Frollo.
Like those are all like really good villains.
Cloud Frollo from Hellfire alone.
I have Hades, who's jokey. I have Rourke, who's jokey. I have John Silver, who's actually an anti-hero. I have Jafar, who I would say is pretty bad. And then I have Ratigan, who's a rat. So he's just Vincent Price being Vincent Price.
Scar kills him easy. I'm just kidding.
Bap.
It's the scene from the cat. The Ratigan's tail between his little fingers.
Anyway, so I would say Jay wins that one if we're gonna compare like Disney star power. If we're gonna compare power, I win because I have the God of the Underworld.
Exactly.
On my team.
You're unbeatable. You're literally unbeatable.
And then in my I have Yzma and Mother Gothel in my on the bench.
I forgot about Mother Gothel.
Which, I mean, she's not going to do much without Rapunzel. So.
Yeah, true. I should have said Hans.
On that note, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those interactive things. Follow the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. Follow me, Tristan Stump, on most social medias at Sir Stumpslot or Sir Stumpslot17.
Follow me on my social medias at either PolarPanda001 or Chris M. Pratt Fan. PolarPanda001 is my Twitter where you'll find my animal tweets. That have scarred Jimmy for life.
We will see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.